was broke, forgotten, sleeping in his car, every dream he chased failed, until one night the crowd stood. That applause would rewrite his destiny forever. Imagine spending your last dollar on a dream and watching it crumble again. You've given everything, your money, your hope, your faith, and still nothing works. You're living in your car, hungry, broke, forgotten. But deep down, you whisper to yourself, this isn't how my story ends. That's exactly where Tyler Perry's journey began. Born in New Orleans in 1969, Tyler's childhood was filled with pain. His father's anger was a storm that never ended. The beatings, the shouting, the fear, it all became too much. But through it all, there was one bright light, his mother, a woman of faith who told him, baby, you can pray through anything. And so he did. When the world was cruel, he prayed. When his home wasn't safe, he dreamed, because somewhere in his heart he knew he was meant for something greater. Years later, while watching the Oprah Winfrey Show, a single sentence would ignite the fire inside him. Oprah said, writing can be a form of therapy, and those words hit him like a lightning. That night, Tyler started writing letters to himself, pouring out every memory, every wound, every ounce of pain he had ever felt. Those letters became the seed of his first play, I Know I Have Been Changed. It wasn't just a story, it was his life on stage. He worked for years, saving $12,000 to bring his dream to life. In 1992 Atlanta, the stage lights were ready. Tyler believed this was his moment, but when the curtain rose, only 30 people showed up, and most of them were family. The play failed, he lost everything, but instead of giving up, he tried again and again and again. For 6 long years, he faced rejection, disappointment, heartbreak. He was broke, homeless, living in his car. Sometimes he'd sit there alone, crying behind the wheel, asking God why nothing was working. But he refused to quit, because somewhere inside a voice kept saying, keep going. Then in 1998, everything changed. Tyler gave his play one last shot, and this time it was different. The audience was packed, people laughed, they cried, they stood and clapped. For the very first time in his life, Tyler Perry felt seen. That moment, that breakthrough, was the turning point. From that day forward, his life took off like a rocket. He created Madea, the fearless, sharp-tongued grandmother who became a legend. Hollywood told him to change to fit in. He said no, because Tyler wasn't waiting for permission. He was building his own empire. He wrote, he produced, he directed, he starred, and when the studios wouldn't give him a seat at the table, he built his own table and his own studio. By 2005, his movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman was a box office hit, making over $50 million. What Hollywood didn't see coming was a man who knew his audience better than anyone. He created stories for people who had never seen themselves on screen, stories about faith, forgiveness, and second chances, stories that made people feel less alone. And then came his greatest movie yet. In 2019, Tyler Perry opened Tyler Perry Studios, a 330-acre empire built on land that once belonged to the Confederate Army, a place that once symbolized division and oppression, now stood as a monument of black excellence and victory. When asked how it felt, he said, the land that was once used to enslave us is now owned by one of us. Today, Tyler Perry is a billionaire. His studio is one of the largest in the world, where giants like Marvel and Disney now shoot their films. But even after all the success, he never forgot where he came from. He's paid off strangers' debts, built homes for families, and donated millions to those in need because he remembers what it felt like to have nothing. Tyler Perry once said, don't despise small beginnings. Every storm you go through is preparing you for something greater. He is a living proof that pain can be your greatest teacher, that failure can be the doorway to destiny, and that no matter how dark it gets, you can still rise. From being beaten as a child, to being homeless in his car, to owning one of the most popular studios in Hollywood, Tyler Perry's story is not just about fame, it's about faith, it's about perseverance, it's about the power of never giving up. So when life pushes you down, when the world tells you no, when you're standing in the dark wondering if your dream will ever come true, remember Tyler Perry, because the road to fame is never easy, but for those who keep walking, the light at the end of the tunnel is worth every step. If Tyler Perry's story moved you, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is Road to Fame, where we told the story of people who rose, fell, and rose again.